Pretties, it's Angela, and today's video is day 6 of the 100-day project challenge that Brittany from Turquoise Street is doing. And so I am trying to keep up and do it each day. So each day she has a random color picker generator thingy that she uses to randomly pick colors, and it's anywhere between 2 to 5 colors each day, and you use that color palette to make anything you want to make. It doesn't have to be jewelry. It can be a drawing, it could be a picture, it can be art, it could be sewing, crocheting, whatever you like to do. It's just to get everybody's kind of creative juices flowing. And it really has been a lot of fun. I have used colors together that I normally wouldn't use. So today's color, each day I'll go ahead and, before the start of the video, you'll see the little color swatches of the day. And today's were like a chocolate brown. So that's a dark brown at the top, a light pink, and a mint green. So if somebody in her group described it kind of like ice cream colors, like chocolate, strawberry, and like a mint chocolate chip. So I thought that was really kind of cool the way they described it. And so I used these beads here. I'm going to make a pair of earrings with that, and then we'll put bracelets together real quick. But let me just show you kind of what I'm using. I'm using these fun, and they're not completely round. They're kind of like an odd shaped glass jade style like bead. And those are really pretty. I'm using those. I'm using these Swarovski crystal cubes in the brown, like the chocolate brown color. And I'm using these beautiful rose quartz, kind of like a chunky donut style bead or chunky rondelle. Those are really pretty. Those were in my stash, and I love those. Rose quartz, they're a deeper dark pink rose quartz too, which is nice. I have a couple of different style bead caps that I'm going to be using. This is one of them. And then I have this one as well. They both kind of have like a little swirl motif. Kind of reminds me of maybe whipped cream if you are going with the Sunday theme. And then I'm going to be using these light pink crystal rondelles. I have a couple of ear wires. I have a toggle clasp. I have some of these little dangles. Some of the little, we got these in the bargain bead box this month for February, and I had some in silver in my stash, and I love these little beads. They're really a cute touch to finish things off, like at the end of a little dangle or whatever. So, and I got some jump rings, and I have a piece of beading wire. So let me go ahead and close off and finish these earrings up, and then we'll go ahead and just design a bracelet to match it. Alright, so what I did was I just put a swirl bead cap at the bottom, the green jade style bead, another bead cap on top, a crystal rondelle, a rose quartz, a rondelle. I didn't put, and I'm wondering if I should, because I think in the bracelet because I want it to match on both sides, I think. So let me see how this looks. I didn't put a bead cap on both of the brown side because I felt like it closed it off a little too much. I think I may do that in the bracelet, but I think for the earring I want a little bit more of that brown showing. So I think I'm going to leave it like I have it. So the only place I didn't put the bead cap was right here, and that's just because I kind of want this to be seen a little bit more in the earring, so that you know that that's the brown color. So and I have to play with the design with the bracelet a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and make my loop. Going to make sure that that is closed. Alright, so there's one earring. I'm going to go ahead and do the other one. Go ahead and close this loop up really good. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my earring wire on. I'll put my component onto the earring wire and close that up. And then what I'm doing for the bottom, I used an eye pin so that I would have a loop on the bottom. because I'm going to go ahead and take this little jump ring and put 5 of those little drop dangles on it. Just like that. I have 5 of them on there. And then I'm going to take that and attach it to the bottom of the eye pin. And, oh, well, I'm so used to having my tool on my finger that I was fixing to try to use it without the tool being there. Oh, goodness. Alright, let's see. And close that up. Make sure it's closed really good. And there is one of the earrings done. Let me grab a little card so I can put it on there so you can see it. Really pretty. It was really easy to put together, really simple, but really just a fun little look. And I really do like those colors together. Surprisingly, because I wasn't sure how I was going to like the colors together. But I do like them. Alright, so that's one earring, and then let me go ahead and put the other ear wire on. Close them up. Alright, and I'm going to get a jump ring. Just using a small little jump ring. And I'm going to put 5 of these little drops on to make our little dance and dangle, if you want to call it. Let's see, I think I need to open that just a little bit more. Okay. Oh. One. Finally got the first one on. 2. I love these little dangles. I think they're precious. 3. In fact, the first time I had ever got them in one of the bargain bead boxes, I thought they were so cute. And so I went and found them online, I think on AliExpress. And I got a bunch of different, like a multicolor pack of them. So that's where these came from. Alright, and then I'm going to go ahead and close those up. Right, okay. Now this, because I have so many on there, I just have to maneuver it to a way, and I may have to use a second set of pliers. I think I had to do that with the other one because it's so many little dangles on there. My ring just doesn't quite fit in there, so I do have to use 2 pair of pliers, which I don't like doing because I am so used to using my tool that this seems so awkward for me to close them up like this. Okay, so we just want to make sure that it is really closed, really good. So it takes me a little bit of maneuvering, like I said, because I'm so used to my jump ring tool. I love that tool. Let's see. Whoop. I had to drop these this morning. Like some days are just like that. I drop everything I touch. Alright, let's see. And if you haven't checked out my video about the bargain bead box mashup, that's really fun. By Clover and Crown and myself are doing a bargain bead box mashup. We each picked 4 pieces from the bargain bead box this month, and we're going to make as many pieces as we can using those 8 items. And the only other things we can use besides those 8 items would be like head pins, jump rings, beading wire, beading string. So it's going to be really fun. So check that one out. We'll be having our projects posted soon. I stayed up way too late last night. Alright. In fact, this video may come out after I finish the other one. But anyway, because this is day 6 and I think I've only posted up to day 3 so far. So I don't want to bombard y'all with videos. These came out really pretty. I'm very happy with the way those turned out. I think they're really pretty. Alright, so let's do a bracelet. I'll leave those right there. Let's do a quick little bracelet. Alright, so I only have, my thought process is I try to start with what I have the least of and try to make it stretch and work around it. So I only have 6 left of these Swarovski cubes in brown. So I'm going to go ahead, and I know I want to use those crystals there. I think I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to alternate so it's not too much of one thing, and I do a green, a pink, a green, a pink, and so on. And then I'm going to use my bead caps, of course, and my rondelles to go around those beads. So I think I'm going to go ahead and start stringing it like this. I'm going to put my little bead buddy on the end of my wire so I don't lose my beads as I'm stringing. And I think I'm going to go ahead and let's just see. So on the green I use these bead caps. So I'm going to go ahead and string the bead cap and the bead and another bead cap. And then for the brown, I use these bigger ones. Now let me see how this looks. I know it covers more of the bead because I tried it for the earring. And the bracelet, it may not be too bad. See, I kind of like the fact that it gives it more of an ornate kind of look. And because I'm capping everything else off, I think I want to leave it like that. So we're going to try it for now and do a couple of stations, and let's see how it looks. Okay, so I'm going to put a rondelle on each side of the pink. And then I'm going to go ahead and repeat my pattern again. Actually, no, I'm not. I have another brown because I'm doing... Now, I could, but see, I could keep going like green, brown, pink, green, brown, pink, but I want to use these brown ones as my focal in the middle and have enough length, so, and I have 6 of them. So let's just continue to go with a brown in between each one and see how this looks as we go. Alright, so now I'm back to the green, and I'm going to cap that off with the smaller bead caps. You can see what I'm doing. Let's see. Yeah, I think I like that. I think it breaks up in between the darker brown bead, and it's not like overpowering in the brown because that bead cap kind of surrounds it. You almost can't even tell it's a cube anymore, which is kind of cool. Like I said, it just gives it a more decorative, fancy kind of look. Oops, and see, with these bead caps with the openings, you really have to make sure that you're going through that center hole, because then your bead cap will be all wonky. It'll be all out of whack. Okay, so pink, I need the pink rondelles. This challenge is also helping me look through my stash and find things that I haven't used that may have been sitting there for a while, or like I said, colors that you buy. Well, I buy a variety of colors thinking, oh, I'm going to use them, and then I tend to gravitate towards blues more than anything because blue is my favorite color. But so I have all these beads that it's like, okay, what am I going to do with this? And then, like I said, colors that I would never think to put brown, pink, and green together. They look really pretty, but I just never would have put those colors together. So this is a really fun challenge to make you think outside the box a little bit. And to use up those beads that may be sitting there that you just don't know what to do with. Alright, so I'm going ahead and do another brown. I really like these bead caps. I don't remember. I got these like a long time ago. I don't even know where I got them from anymore. That's how long ago I've gotten them. They've just been sitting there. Okay, so I'm back to the pink. And now it's about time to measure and see what I need to do and how to adjust for the length, because I don't want it too long, obviously, where it's going to flap around on my wrist, but I want my design to be even. Okay, so hopefully when I add these two, I'll be at a good length. Okay, so I need another bead cap and brown. Bead cap, and then the smaller bead cap to go around the green. Alright, so now I have finished I have my pattern all made, and I've used my 6 brown in the middle. So now if I need additional length, I can just add on to each side something, and that'll be like my midsection. let's see, where am I at with this? Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna be fine. Let's see. Actually, it may end up being a little long. I'm trying to think because I do have my toggle, which is going to add some length. Yeah, it's going to be too long. Okay. So, let me think about this. Alright. I'm going to take off this green on both sides because I think it's going to be too much. Now, let me check with my toggle and see what my length is. I am at about 7, I think. Let me check it around my wrist and see. Because these are bigger beads and they are going to be chunky. You know what? I think I'm back to the green. I'm going to put my green back on. Because I didn't think to include a little bit of extra length because these beads are chunky. It takes up extra room on your wrist. And so, and then too, I need my toggle to go through. And so I can't have it too tight or the toggle won't go through the end of the toggle bar. Alright, so let me put these back on this side. And then let me, oh, don't lose my string. Alright. I think once I put my toggle clasp, I think that's going to be perfect. Okay. In fact, I'm trying to decide if I want to put a little rondelle on each side. I may be sorry I did that. Maybe too much. Let's see. I think putting that a little bit of a smaller bead on the end will help my toggle go through a little bit better. Okay, I'm going to put my bead buddy back on this end and try to kind of hold it up to my wrist and see. Okay, yeah, I think I'm almost to where I'm touching, and then when I put my toggle, that's my luck, you guys. If I didn't lose my beads. Alright, hold up. I have to, oh goodness gracious. Okay, I lost my end of my thing, my end of my wire when I was moving. Alright, so I have to put this back on. I lost my green bead, fell off. Wouldn't be a video if I didn't drop something. Alright, so I'm going to take the rondelle off of this side. And try not to lose my beads again. There's your blooper for this video. Alright, and I'm hoping this is going to fit. I'm going to be upset if it doesn't fit, but I'll just have to restring it if it doesn't. Alright, so I need crimps. So I am going to reach over here and grab my crimps from BB Craft. I know I keep showing these, but these crimps have been really great. And I'm going to go ahead and just get a couple of little silver crimps out. I love that they're all sorted in sizes. And then I'm going to turn it back because last night I was up really late doing something and forgot to close it, and yeah, they went flying on me, so I had to pick those up, drop that. Alright, okay, so I have that side closed off. I'm going to go ahead and put a crimp bead on and put my end of my toggle on. Now, you know, I don't think the wire guardian, it's just kind of a thick. I was going to put a wire guardian on, but I think this is too thick to go through the toggle. I'm not sure. Let me try that, because that would give it a little bit more stability as far as when you're pulling on the bracelet. Alright, so here's my wire guardians, and I need some silver, so I'm going to kind of move it over to the silver, get a couple of those out. And I'm going to give it a try and see how it works. See if it'll go over the end of that. Because like I said, from pulling on this, it is a larger toggle. I do want it to have some strength. So let's see. So I put my crimp bead on. Okay, so I was going to use a toggle. And I went ahead and paused the video because I think I changed my mind. I think that this toggle is going to be a little bit too big of a toggle bar to get through this closure, and I'm kind of ending with big beads. So I think what I want to do is, I think I'm going to add a piece of extender chain and a jump ring. That way I can, I'm gonna lobster claw it. That way I can make it adjustable, and I don't have to worry about if that bead is going to be too large to go next to that toggle clasp. So let me go ahead and grab, I have a crimp here, say, and a crimp here. Okay, I didn't lose my crimps. Alright, and I have my bead buddy on this side to hold my beads in place. And I may go ahead and use some wire guardians to give it a little bit of extra stability around, and just give it a finished look on the edge of the bracelet. So let me get a couple of those out. I love these containers that sort everything. They have everything all already sorted out for you. Alright, and then let me go ahead and put a crimp bead on. I'm going to put a wire guardian. And I love the wire guardians. Like I said, it just gives it a little bit of extra stability on the end when you're kind of pulling on your clasp and your bracelet and things. So it's just a nice little, and it finishes it off and gives it a nice look as well. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and slide my chain in and up into that wire guardian. So like I said, if it pulls, it gives it extra strength there at the end. Alright, I am going to go back through my crimp bead and a couple of the bead, like the bead cap and the green bead and another bead cap. I'm going to go ahead and grab my wires and pull that down. I need to remember to leave myself some working room over here on the other side. That's going to be kind of short, but we'll work with it. Alright, so now I have my chain in there. I want to make sure that my wire guardian is in place. Crimp that bead down. Clip off the excess wire on this side. Slide my bead down to the end. I actually like that chain on the end of it. I think it's going to be pretty because then I can add a little dangle at the end. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take off the other side. Take off my bead buddy. Get myself a crimp bead. Add my wire guardian. I am going to add my, oh, I had to put it on the other, through the other side of the wire guardian. Okay, and then I'm going to put my lobster claw clasp through there and make sure that it goes in the middle of that wire guardian. It's up in the top of there. And I'm going to bring my wire back down through my crimp bead and the bead cap, the green bead, just a couple of beads to go back down. Wherever it comes out, I'll go ahead and pull it with my pliers, my wire, just to kind of help me, give me an extra little pull. Let's see. Okay, and like I said, you always want to make sure that you have fluid movement in your bracelet. You don't want it so stiff that it's going to pop, but you do have to make sure that it's doesn't have, you know, excess room in there either. So I'm going to go ahead and get my crimp to come back out of that bead because it wants to hide in top of the bead cap. So I just have to move it up a little bit, make sure it's where it needs to be. I don't need another lost crimp bead inside of my a crimp bead inside of my bead. That happened to me on another video. I lost my crimp. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull it down. I got a hold of my crimp and I'm going to crimp that down tight. Okay, and I'm going to clip off the excess wire. And there's my bracelet. My lobster claw is on the end there, and I can adjust this now to make it whatever size I need it. Now let me see where it fits on me, because I may not need quite that long of an extender chain. I probably don't, because it actually fits. Oops. Let me see if I can do this myself. Okay, so I can actually put it on the first one if I wanted to, and I'm gonna go ahead and create some kind of little dangle on the back of here, but I don't need it quite this long, so I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of take that there. I only want about 3 or 4 links, and that will give me another probably ½ inch or so to extend. I got some extra extended chain. I'll use that on something else. But if somebody else wants this bracelet, it'll adjust from probably, I'll have to measure it. Let me see. If I measure it, it'll be about, it could go all the way to about an 8 1/4 inch bracelet. So that gives it about an extra, almost an inch. So that's great. And so, okay, let me go ahead and clasp this off, because like I said, I can put it on the first one and it'll be just fine for me. And if somebody needs it on the last one, they can still have the little dangle hanging from it. So let's see how we want to do the dangle. Let me grab a head pin. And let's see. Obviously I don't want a huge dangle, so I'm thinking probably something with the rondelle, because there's pretty pink rondelles, and then I finished with green, so, but those pink beads are kind of chunky. So let me see how, I'm trying to think, do I have anything smaller over here handy, like a little spacer bead or something? I do have a couple of these little, just plain spacer beads. So let me see how this looks with the rondelle. Spacer bead. Because I just want something on each side of that rondelle just to hold it in place. Oh, I think that's a really pretty, just a small, simple little dangle. It doesn't have to be huge, because it's just hanging off of the back of the extender chain. So I don't want anything real big. So I think I'm going to leave it at that. I think I'm just going to go ahead and put the little spacer beads on each side of that rondelle. Close it off. Make sure that this loop is closed. Actually, I need to add it. I don't want to close it just yet because I want to add it to my extended chain. So I'm going to open this up. I'm going to add my extended chain on the end of that little loop that we just created. And close that up. Again, just make sure your loops are always closed really good, because you don't want anything to fall off. Okay. And so there's the little dangle at the end of the bracelet. I think it's perfect. Like I said, we ended with the green. It gives it a little touch of pink at the end, and it's not too big. It's small enough just to give it a little something extra. Let me see if I can get that in a shot for you. Move all this other stuff out the way. And there is our bracelet to match our really pretty earrings for the 100-day project challenge. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you would, please give me a thumbs up, click on subscribe, and click on the notification bell so that you can be notified each time I upload a video to YouTube. And until the next video, guys, bye!